Welcome to the wonderful world of dance, bringing you exclusive interviews with top dancers and choreographers and reviews of the world's best companies across the globe. You can find lots more on our website at thewonderfulworldofdance.com.
Hi, this is Savannah Saunders, and today I'm excited to introduce 19-year-old Claudia Suarez, Apprentice Ballerina with the Arts Ballet Theatre of Florida and our newest contributor to the wonderful world of dance. Hi, Claudia. Thanks for joining us all the way from Miami.
Hi, Savannah.
Hi.
Very glad to be here.
So, Claudia, tell me, you're originally from Venezuela. Tell us, what was it like growing up in Venezuela, and when did you first start dancing?
Well, growing up in Venezuela, it's very, very hard because, I didn't remember my early childhood, but ever since I was 1 year old, the government has been really crazy, and I don't know anything else apart from that government. Besides that, my childhood was very, very happy. I'm very glad and very thankful. I didn't have any difficulties or anything. And I first started dancing because I was born naturally turned in. And because my dad, walks very, very turned in, and, I have genetics. So ever since I was, I think, 4 years old, I got into orthopedic boots, I needed help to walk properly. Okay. So the doctor finally told my mom and my grandma to put me into ballet classes so my legs could be better. So that's how I started. I went into a local ballet school, and I was there since I was 5 until I was 14. And they, of course, my teacher taught me everything about ballet and everything, and then I wanted to change, get something better. And when I was 14, I changed ballet schools, and then I was 1.5 years there, and 1 year and a half, sorry. And then I came to Miami, and 2 years I graduated and then company. But growing up in Venezuela, it was definitely really hard. There's no safe streets, ever since I was very, very young. They always said, be careful, or don't open the door to anyone, or the news was disaster all the time. But that's why I came here. Yeah,
it must have been very different growing up to living in Miami, and also, and it must have been, was it different sort of dancing as well when you went to your local school in Venezuela compared to some of your studies that you have done? You studied, I understand, at the Central School of Ballet in London for a little bit.
Yes, I forgot about. Oh God!
And how did that come about?
Well, my local school, the first one, it was mostly Cuban technique. So I got to actually travel with them to Cuba twice, and I'm very, very thankful for that too. But when I was 8, my mom wanted to study in the UK. So we moved on October 2005.
Mm-hmm.
And I studied, I think, for 5-6 months in Central School of Ballet. I had a wonderful teacher. Of course, at that time, I couldn't recognize the differences between Royal Academy of Dance and, of course, a Cuban technique. I was just, a little girl, just dancing. And then when I came back and changed ballet schools when I was 14, I got into Vaganova style in that second school. Very, very different, of course. And I got to clean my technique a lot because you know how the Russians are, very, structure and everything. And then I came here in Miami, and my director is Vladimir Issaev. He's Russian, and he applies also Vaganova technique. And summer intensives are completely Vaganova school because he has teachers from the actual Vaganova Ballet Academy in St. Petersburg coming to teach. And yeah, I think these last years have been mostly Vaganova and Russian style. But yeah, I have had many, Cuban, then RID, then Russian, have many different techniques coming to my body. And I know, now I know the differences now that I'm 19 and I, can recognize them. But yeah.
So when you were a little bit younger and still doing your vocational training, you actually won a few awards. You won the silver medal at the Caracas National Ballet Competition. You were awarded top 10 dancer at the Universal Ballet Competition in Florida. And at the tender age of just 15, this is when you won your scholarship to attend the Arts Ballet Theatre in Florida to their summer intensive. How have those ballet competitions and awards influenced your dance career so far? What was your experience like?
Well, during my whole young career, because I'm really young still, I have never been a fan of competitions. I get really, really nervous because all the dancers that go to competitions are amazing. They turn so much. They, their extensions are amazing. They're so clean in their technique, and they actually train every single day to the competition, to the big day. This first competition that I won, my ballet teacher actually created the competition. My first ballet teacher. First was a national level, at a national level. And it was the first ballet competition in Venezuela ever.
Wow.
Yeah. So she created the whole event, and it was 2 days, 2 rounds. And I got to dance 2 variations, completely different style. Romantic, a Grand Pas de Quatre one, and then Aurora, third act. Mm-hmm. So I got to... That was my first glimpse of knowing variations, of knowing the ballets, knowing the styles and everything. So I learned a lot from that competition, and I was very surprised actually to have won the silver medal. I got there were like 3 qualification points. The judges were doing 3 things. There were technique, artistry, and how you look on stage, if the costume was right and everything. And I got the artistry level really, really high, apparently. So that's how I got the silver medal, and I was really surprised. Because I'm very confident once I go on stage, but I was really nervous, really, really nervous. And I got the next year after that, I went to that competition, the same one. We had a little bit of international students coming. But unfortunately I didn't win. And then 2015, I told my director, because it was my senior year, that's what they call here, before you graduate. Mm-hmm. And I told him, I really want to compete this year because at this Florida really, really small competition, not small, it's getting bigger actually, but I really want to see where I am, compare myself to others, to others of my age. I was 17 at the time. And I chose the same variation that I did back in the first competition, the Grand Pas de Quatre one, because I knew the variation. I had really, really short time to rehearse. And yeah, fortunately I was awarded top 10. So I was actually surprised by that too. But yeah, competitions get me really nervous, but yeah, I'm really thankful that I could go and win. And for the scholarship to Arts Ballet Theatre, that was actually the second competition that my director saw me and a friend, and then talked to my teacher, and then decided to give me the scholarship for the summer program on the next year. So that's how I got to know them. The school here in Miami, my director and his wife, who's the daughter of a famous composer in Venezuela. And thanks to them, I could, move here and have a place to dance when we didn't even have a house when we came here. So that's how I got to be here in Miami in company, and then I grew,
So
almost 4 years here.
So tell us about what it's like as an apprentice at the Arts Ballet Theatre. What does your day look like? What's typical for you?
Well, first I got to be, this is my first year as an apprentice.
Yeah.
Last season I was a trainee, actually. Once I graduated from the school, I was only 2 years there in the advanced level. Once I graduated, I got to be only trainee, which is this is a very small company.
Mm-hmm.
So we have, the ranks are not, like typical, are not apprentice, corps de ballet, and soloist, and principal. Here we have, because we are 20-something dancers,
Okay.
we have trainees, we have apprentices, and then we have company members. And we only have Claudia as our principal dancer right now. So, yeah, I first got to be a trainee, where I got, first glimpse of how the company works.
Mm-hmm.
And then this year, I got to be an apprentice. So they actually promoted me in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So my day starts, I wake up every morning, have breakfast. I try to have a really, really healthy breakfast to get me, strong for the class. And I don't have a car, I don't drive yet. So
Okay.
in Miami, you have to drive. It's really impossible if you don't have a car. But fortunately, there's a train close to my place, and there's a bus. I only have to take one bus. So it takes me like an hour and a half to get to the studio.
Wow.
Yeah, because I don't have a car, and the traffic is awful too. So then I try to get to the studio 45 minutes to half hour before the class.
Mm-hmm.
Our class is at 9:30
Okay.
every morning.
Yeah.
I get, warm up and put on my warmers, because the thing is, it's really hot outside, but the AC inside is, it gets your body really cold, at least for me.
Yeah.
So then my director teaches the class every day,
Mm-hmm.
Monday to Friday, and then Saturdays our class is at 2.
Mm-hmm.
At 11 we finish, and then we start rehearsing for our productions. We normally dance, we start in August, and then our season is, we dance in October, then we have Nutcracker, 9 to 10 performances in December of Nutcracker, and then we dance in March, and then we finish in May with a spring gala.
Okay.
So we dance every 2-3 months, and we prepare. We rehearse every day for the upcoming ones. We sometimes mix, and this past season we started Nutcracker performances before October. Rehearsals, before October. So we get to mix if we have time, actually.
And tell us, what are the other dancers like? Are they from different parts of the US, or like you, from other countries? What is the company sort of made up like?
Well, actually, out of the 20-ish dancers we have, we are, half of them are Asian.
Oh, really?
We have Japanese and Chinese dancers.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Yes.
Because their training is it's great, and they love to dance abroad. That's why they have told me. So they try different companies in the world, and most of them are in the Royal Ballet, the incredible ones. So we have at least 5 to 6 Japanese dancers.
Wow.
We have 2 Chinese. Right now, this is us for this season.
Yeah.
We are 4 Venezuelans.
Wow. So
Yeah,
you're not alone.
yeah, it's a lot. It's Katoya and two other friends and me.
Okay.
And then 4 Americans, I think, but they have also mixed, because they have Asian parents, but they were born here.
Yeah.
And I think two of them, of the Americans, are actually from my director's school, so they grew up
Okay. Yeah.
from like 3 years old.
Quite
and
local.
Company members, yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds like a very diverse company with, like you say, dancers who are coming from all around the world. Do you find that really beneficial, interesting to sort of compare how the training or your approach to dance is? How does it sort of shape your world?
Well, it is actually really, I learn a lot from my colleagues. That's how I'm going to call them. For example, one of them, and I forgot she's from Cuba, but she came here to Miami, like when she was like 7, and she trained in Miami City Ballet. So she has mostly balancing technique, but then she came to a company where it's, Russian mostly. My Japanese friends, they have, I think, Royal Academy of Dance. That's what they do in Japan. We have had Cuban dancers and they left, and they have their amazing Cuban technique and strong. We have had Russians that are really, really clean, and everything. And we in Venezuela, we have all mixed. But I get to learn from them how, like, the way they dance, the way they do things. And I really like to watch all of them in class. When, second group in center. And then I stare at them, seeing what they do, how they do it and everything. I try to copy the best of each.
Yeah.
Because I'm the youngest one. So I get to learn from them, even if they're like 2 years. We are 2 years apart, or 3. They have more experience than me, or...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So
I love to see them in class.
Absolutely. And tell us about your love of dance. Like, what is it about dancing that you love?
It's really hard to explain because, sometimes people say that dancers are, I don't know, they suffer a lot in the career, which is...
It can be tough.
It's really tough because, the whole training and stuff is really, really tough since you're very, very young. But what I love the most is that I get to be better every day, or to try again every day. If I had a bad day in class, then I get to be better the next day, maybe. If I do this or do that, I get to be better. But what I love the most is the feeling on stage. It's really, I cannot describe it because I'm a really shy person. I don't really talk to people when I meet them. Okay. I'm really, really quiet, and that's why I write. That's why I like to write. So that's another story. But once I go on stage, it's like my shyness goes away, and I love the feeling of being a character, for example, or if I'm being a soloist in one of the variations of the Nutcracker, I create a character or something. I do something on my head to be someone else. And I love the history of ballet and everything. It's amazing. It's so great. Yeah.
So you like the history of ballet, not just...
I love it. It's really great.
What do you love about it?
I love how it develops. Like, it started majorly like a court dance for, royals. And then the skirts got shorter. Then, we had the romantic era, which is my favorite ever. because I love the romantic ballets like Giselle, and then the Grand Pas de Quatre is one of my favorites, and the history behind it is amazing. Then we got into tutus and the classical ballet and the Russian era, and Tchaikovsky came, and 3 spectacular ballets came. And then we got more modern, and then Balanchine came in the 50s, 60s, if I'm not mistaken. All those movements. I love it. I love everything. And I have actually a book, History of Ballet, that I have to read. It's really long, but it's on my list. But I love watching videos about history and everything. It's amazing.
And what inspires you every day to, go to class, or do you have dance icons that you look up to that you think I'd love to be like that dancer one day? What inspires you?
Well, what inspires me every day to go to class, I don't know, it's really hard to explain, but the feeling of getting better with my body, getting better in this art form, which is beautiful, and the goal of having a good performance at the end of every 2-3 months.
Yeah,
I think it's what I love the most, and I love performing, and that's what inspires me. As long as icons, I have a lot.
Okay. Tell us about your icons.
When I lived in London, I got to know. I went to watch the Royal Ballet for the first time, and I watched Alina Koyakaru in doing La Sylphide, and I was at the last balcony, really, really far away, but I still could. I was 8 years old, and I was, oh my God, it's a gorgeous theater, which is amazing. It's beautiful theater. After that performance, I told my mom, I really want to be like them or dance here one day. Who knows? And then my mom said, well, let's do it. And I'm very thankful for her support all the time. But then I got to see posters of Darcy Bussell.
Amazing.
And I still dream of seeing her one day. She retired already. And I think the year after I came back to Venezuela, and that was really, really sad. But I got to see her videos all the time. Darcy Bussell is... And her interviews. She has a documentary that I have no idea how many times I watched it. And I don't know, I got identified with her a little bit because, many people told her, oh, you're too tall, you're not going to be Juliet ever, or you have this, you have that. She went late to White Lodge, but she got to be, the principal dancer of Royal Ballet for, I think, 20 years.
Prima ballerina. She's
prima ballerina.
World famous. Yeah, absolutely.
One of the best.
Astounding career.
Yeah, I still dream of not meeting her one day. It will be a dream come true. And when I was, I think 15, 14, 15, yeah, my mom showed me a video of Stephen McRae.
Oh, he's amazing.
Look at this dancer. And it was his Nutcracker pas de deux with Miyako Yoshida. And I said, oh my God. And, and she said, behind that wig, because, they use the wig for the Nutcracker prince, he's a red hair. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I got to remember, the red hair Australian dancer. And then I got into watching so many videos of Steven, so many, and then I said, he's amazing. He's very humble.
Yeah.
And he then opened his social media accounts, and then I got to follow him everywhere. And then and then I got to meet him in New York. And fabulous. I was in shock. I have his book actually, and then I have his book on my hand. I saw him. Asked him, Steven, I was crying because, he came on stage, I cried, and then he came through the stage door, I cried. And then he saw me crying and asked me, "So where are you coming from?" And then he got to talk to us for 5 minutes. I was in shock. And my mom did most of the talking, but, I got advice from him, and he's incredibly amazing. But looking at him in social media and everything, and I have many, many idols everywhere, but those two are my top.
Well, they are definitely amazing dancers that you are looking up to. I have to say they're also my favorites as well. I'm a huge fan. So thinking about the future and your future, because you're only 19, you're still only the apprentice, as you say, the youngest in your current company. What does your sort of dream career look like? What do you hope for, or what are you working towards going forward?
I know that I'll probably not going to be a soloist or a principal dancer because of my, level of dancing, because of my training, my past training. But my goal right now is to get into be a corps de ballet member in any company, because I love corps de ballet. That's something I really admire from the dancers, because they get to dance. Imagine 14 nutcrackers in a big company every single day, snow and flowers, and then they get to do the swans or get to do the shades in Ballet, which is, I think, probably the most difficult one of all, of everything. But that's my goal right now, and I know I will be happy doing corps de ballet. I love it, and if I get to do soloist or principal, whoa, it will be amazing. But my goal right now is to be corps de ballet member in any medium to big company. That will be a dream came true. And also, I want to little by little study a little bit in universities. Take university courses. If Stephen McGregor could do it, I can do it. Get a degree little by little, and in journalism or English. Sort of the writing career.
Absolutely.
I want. Yeah. Because after dancing, I really don't see myself as a teacher or a choreographer, because my personality is not the best with kids or young students. I'm really impatient, but I'm shy at the same time. So I don't know. I don't see myself as teacher or director or choreographer. I don't know. But to be involved in ballet after dancing will be writing for the arts, or getting, spread the ballet world to everyone. I think that's my career goal after ballet. Dancing corps de ballet to soloist maybe, and then getting to write. That would be the ideal.
Wow, it sounds like you've got an amazing life mapped out for yourself, and I'm sure that you will get there. Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
I just wanted to ask, sort of finally, what advice, if there was, I imagine that there will be, some younger dancers, younger than yourself, who are listening to you today or watching you today and thinking, wow, I'd love to have that. I'd love to become an apprentice. I'd love to join a company. What advice would you give to younger dancers based on the experience that you've had so far in your life that would help them be able to achieve their goals?
Well, I have had many ups and downs in my life, mostly because I come from a very difficult country, and also my self-confidence is not as strong. But every day I remind myself, I'm going in. I need to have a path. I need to keep inspired and everything. So I think that's my advice. Don't give up on your dreams. You can modify the dreams as your life goes on. It's not like, oh, yeah, I will be a principal dancer one day, but maybe the path is, turns another way and you get to be only for the ballet or something, but you get the experience, you know. I think my main advice here is, you know, don't give up. Don't listen to anyone that tells you you can't. Because I have had people that told me that, you know, you're not gonna be, just go and study something else, like be an attorney, you know, or be a lawyer or a doctor.
Is this what you were told?
Some people, yeah, because I used to be not presuming at all. I used to be a really smart student in school, in high school and middle school, elementary school, and everything. And my teachers were like, "Oh, what career are you going to? You know, you have a really good grades and everything." And I said, "I just want to dance." I wasn't clear about the writing career at the time, but yeah, everyone told me, "Oh, but you can be, you know, you can study biology, you can study to be a doctor, you can study to be a lawyer, you can study to be an entrepreneur, engineer, whatever." I said, "I just want to dance. That's what I want to do." And they were, "What? You have such good grades, such good, you know, everything." But then I said, "No, just don't listen to anyone that wants to change your life. That's my main advice. Just
follow your dreams.
Think about what you want and keep going on that and work hard for it. That's my main advice." Yeah.
And I think, you know, dancers notoriously and quite unfortunately have a short career, although, you know, with dance health being a priority and the improvements in dance training over the years is meaning that dancers are able to dance for longer than they used to be able to, but it's still quite a short life. And it's, you know, the advice that, you know, or some of the guidance that you were given that others might also receive in terms of don't pursue, you know, the dance, do something more academic, but actually you get to do both, in fact, in your life, which is a double sort of gift, really. You get to, you get to, you know, work really hard at something you love, get to perform on stage, as you say, either in the corps de ballet or soloist, principal, you know, whichever path that you go on. And then, you know, when it's time for, as I like to say, the second act of your life, then you get to pursue other dreams that you have. And your dream of pursuing a career as a dance writer, well, you've already started your own blog, Claudia's Journal. Everyone listening has to go have a look. And you're going to be sharing your journey, dance journey with us on the wonderful world of dance. So, you know, you're able to build those two things that you love and bring your academics into your dance world now. And, you know, that could only pave the way for a long, wonderful, wonderful career doing a variety of things in dance.
Yeah. You know, right now, we don't get to be, not everyone will be Alicia Alonso, who danced until her 60s, or Alessandra Ferri, who's coming back on stage. So thankfully right now we can do both, because universities are going online, and I'm really glad that it's happening, because, you know, being flexible, it's bonus.
Absolutely.
When you're a dancer, having a flexible study schedule, sort of way. But yeah, you can, if someone thinks about it and works hard for it, you can do anything. You know, it's not impossible, because there are people that have done both. And I think Megan Fairchild just graduated, the New York City Ballet dancer, principal dancer, and she was in Broadway even. She just graduated, and, you know, there's a chance to do everything you want in life.
Absolutely. We live in amazing times where we get to make great choices and do amazing things with our lives. One of the things I wanted to ask you about as well, actually, was your photo shoot with the famous dance photographer, is it Jenny Schiavioni?
Jean Chavioni, yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about that experience. Your photos look incredible. And for those listening, definitely get online and have a look at them. They're incredible. What was that like?
Well, my mom actually encouraged me to do it. We met Jean. There was a gala in West Palm Beach, Florida, or close to West Palm Beach, of young dancers. They were mostly Florida schools. And one of those years, I think it was 2014, 2015, he got to be the photographer for that gala. And we got to meet him. And then I had like a pamphlet of his photo shoots. And then I saw, oh, these are amazing. Wow. And then I had that pamphlet for like a year in my room. And then my mom said, I want you to have a photo shoot with Jean Chavioni. And then I said, I don't know, because I had a lot of struggle with my weight at the time for, as a ballet dancer should be, or being healthy. And I was, struggling a lot finding the healthiest way for my body and everything. I said, I don't know, because I don't look so well. And then I was, and I said, no, do it. And then, we drove like an hour or so from our place to West Florida. And he was incredibly friendly, incredibly humble, and he never danced, but I think his story is he went to photography and ballet, another path, talking about paths of life. And I'm in front of this photographer that shoots ABT, and Marinsky, and I was
everyone.
wow.
Yeah.
And he had these incredible costumes, and he has this pink gown.
The famous pink gown.
From every dancer, and to sign it. And that's a project that he has. And he asked also for point shoes from you, signed. So he can one day say, look, I photographed this dancer many, many years ago. And now he or she is principal or soloist or this and anywhere. But I was actually really, really surprised how the pictures came out. I was, is that me? Wow. No, and we got to work 5 hours, I think, or 4.
5 hours?
Yeah.
Wow.
Doing different poses, and every time he got to shoot one picture and then change the lights, the same pose, no, and then the picture will come, really, really different from the lighting. But yeah, it was an amazing experience, and with those pictures or photos, I could see that, wow, I can do amazing stuff here, Yeah. Like I told you, my self-confidence is a little bit, sometimes I get, no, I can't do this, I can do that, but actually I can if I'm brave enough to believe it. Sometimes I don't believe in myself, and then I see, and then change my mind.
And is that self-confidence something which you're still sort of struggling with? Is that a challenge for you?
Yeah, well, when I moved here, first my self-confidence was challenged a little bit when I got to do very, very young. It was my year to do Clara in the Nutcracker, but then my teacher changed it to Cinderella, a bigger production. So I got to do Cinderella very young, and I got my first ballet classes from there, and then that was my first challenge to do a character on stage. Cinderella has many emotions. When she did it like the Disney product, like the Disney movie, kind of, to involve little girls. So the little mice were sewing my dress for the party, and then the cat comes and destroys it. So I had a drama scene. And my teacher was telling me, you have to, do this character, and then I got really nervous, saying, I really can't do it. And I can't do it. But that was when I was, I think, 11 or so. And yeah, since there, my self-confidence is really hard to handle. When I came here and gained weight, I was also struggling a lot because I said I will never have the body I had before, or I will look very ugly in a tutu on stage or something. Yeah, but then people remind me, you have potential to do this, and I'm very thankful for all the people that I have around, because they encourage me a lot. And, seeing, for example, a dancer like Claudia in class or inspires me every day, or watching War Ballet Day for 24 hours. Those things get to inspire me a lot and keep going.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you're still young. You're only 19.
Yeah.
You've got your entire career ahead of you. You've got, the next 10 plus years, 10, 15 years for you to, as you say, work every day to be able to achieve the goals and the dreams that you have. So it's, you have to give yourself time to be able to reach your dreams. And I think you're an amazing inspiration to lots of young dancers out there who are on the journey. And, I hope that people listening today and watching will be able to follow in your footsteps and achieve amazing things at such a young age. So I just want to say thank you so much for sharing your story with us. And, I'm so excited to have you as part of our wonderful team, and I can't wait for your new blog and photos. Yeah. And for everyone, as I said, go out and Google the beautiful photos, have a look on our site and also on Claudia's blog as well. And make sure you subscribe to get her latest blogs. Thank you very much, Claudia.
Thank you, Savannah, for everything.
My pleasure.
Don't forget to subscribe. We've got some incredible interviews coming up with principal ballerinas and renowned choreographers. We love dance and ballet, and we hope you'll love us. Join us on Facebook and Twitter.